I've been around since the inception of Concord Airport. It's one of the most amazing stories that's probably ever happened in Cabarrus County and the city of Concord. Gastonia had some money allocated from the Federal Aviation Commission to build an airport. Then they changed their mind and decided they would not build an airport. That left the money available for an airport somewhere in North Carolina. A gentleman by the name of Jim Nance went to the chairman of the Highway Commission and said, well, what about Cabarrus County? Can we move that money to Cabarrus County? He said, sure, that's fine.
In 1990, the county was involved with getting some FAA funds, and at that point, the county commissioners couldn't quite get it to work where they'd get support for it. But they saw the importance of it. So at that point, they contacted the city and asked the city if they'd be interested in taking over the funds and creating a Concord Airport. As a commercial pilot and a flight instructor, I get exposed to many airports around the country, and I could see what it was doing for the communities. I could see the businesses that were coming. You'd land in an airport and you'd see all the aircraft that were supporting businesses, and I kept saying to myself, this is what we need in Concord.
Every site that was mentioned, there was an uproar from the community that they didn't want the airport there. I think they were trying to find, an easy way, and it turned out there was no easy way. There was going to be people that were concerned about their property values, no matter where you put it.
There were times we would be chasing cows off of the runway. There was no Concord Mills Boulevard. There was no hotels, no restaurants. If you wanted something to eat, you went to the Poplar Tent Texaco. The airport growth has been enormous, more than I could have even imagined 25 years ago.
One of the reasons why I liked coming to Concord was the opportunities. This particular airport has blossomed since it started in 1994. It has grown in terms of a general aviation reliever airport for the FAA and got into the economic development piece with NASCAR, building hangars, investments into the community.
When NASCAR came to town, it was a different ball game. We went from having just transient and local flights into having a ramp full of King Airs and larger jets.
We laughingly call them the NASCAR Air Force because they do have a lot of planes. And then the drivers followed suit. They were not traveling in cars anymore to go from one track to the next because the whole popularity of the sport was growing.
Thursdays and Sundays were our busiest days because of the races they were departing to and then arriving back from. So it was a big change for us here in Concord.
All of a sudden we had jumped into a whole nother league as the size of this airport and the amount of customers and takeoffs and landings we had.
Concord's been a great experience. I got to start flying here about 10 years ago. One of the great things about it is we still have a lot of the same people that have been here since the airport started.
Our employee base came from basically 4 employees to now we have 45, and we have really diversified ourselves not only from the general aviation corporate side but also from the commercial airline side. In December 13, we started service with Allegiant Airlines to one market, being to Sanford, Florida.
We now have 7 locations that are being serviced, 6 in Florida and New Orleans. Last year we had 1,200 commercial flights coming in. This year we'll have 1,500, and who knows how many we'll have next year, but it's just going to keep growing.
It has grown from general aviation, little airport to what it is today. We are number 4 in terms of operations in the state of North Carolina. With our commercial service, we're the 10th. Our economic impact for the state is close to $800 million.
A lot of economic development that is in this region now, they're here because of this airport.
When we talk about the economic impact, what that means, it means jobs, it means taxes, it means the whole community is sharing in this. The planes that are based here, the fuel cells here, and the jobs that are created by the companies that come in to service us.
When an airport the size and scale of Concord-Padgett Regional Airport kind of is located in a community, it has dramatic impacts in a lot of different ways, not only from tourists and travel, as well as its impacts as it relates to economic development for business relocation, the community itself having access to such a large-scale asset that can literally move people up and down the East Coast, it's truly tremendous for this community and for the city of Concord.
We recently got approval from FAA. They approved our update to our master plan. The master plan calls for additional commercial terminal buildings, expansion of our hangars, looking at some more safety improvements, long-term expansion of our, what we call our general aviation flight school complex, and then adding additional hangars for corporate and general aviation aircraft.
Nobody could have ever imagined what this airport is today. I mean, it's past everybody's expectations. And it's so great that we're celebrating 25 years of this airport.
And we're really proud of what we do for the city and also for the airport and really the region itself.
I'd like to finish by congratulating Concord-Padgett Regional Airport for their 25 years, and we're looking forward to even greater 25 to come.